Hey there, fellow heathens, and welcome back to another long-awaited episode of the Southern Heathens Podcast. I'm Raffin Tierson, and joining me, as always, is Ubba Ymirson. How you doing, man?
I am tired, man. I am tired. How are you?
I'm great. Uh, it's been a long time since we've done an episode. I've had some family issues. Not going to specify, but
Yeah, and I just started a new job, and getting used to the new schedule has been not hectic, but definitely it's taking time. It's taking time to adjust, but it's going though. So
yeah, it seems like everything's going just fine.
yeah, now that we're back on track with for the most part, so we can get to doing more episodes and whatnot. So
I tell you what, I've missed it, but I mean, I've also been enjoying the beautiful weather outside and how green everything is, and I don't know if you've noticed, but like when it rains, you see more of the darker greens in the woods, and when it's sunny, you see more of the lighter greens.
yeah, I have. I mean, just like today, it hasn't rained, but it's been cloudy outside. And even yesterday, too, before I went into work, or before I went to the gym, actually, when it was very cloudy outside, yeah, it was the green was a lot darker, and it was gorgeous.
Very beautiful.
Just as gorgeous as when it is, sunny outside and making the green reflect. That's about the only part of the sun, that I like. But it is so beautiful. What'd you say the other day? It's like when it turns dark, it's like a primordial swamp.
Yeah, it's such a primordial feeling. It's dark. It's almost, it's not gloomy really. It's like shadowy.
Yeah, I would also go as far to say it's like enchanting.
It is.
I was looking, I came home today after I got the groceries, and I honked the horn at you, signaling you to come outside.
Yeah.
But before that, though, I was looking just straight forward towards the backyard, and it looked like in one of those movies, where everything is moving forward, but it's actually not.
Right.
That's what it was like. That's what it looked like today. And obviously, I was sober because I was driving, and I would never do that. And I had nothing but caffeine, and so I was like, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think we have a pretty good episode lined up for the listeners today, man.
Yeah, I do too. We're going to talk about UPGs, worship and honor, the differences and whatnot. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, so let's dive into it.
Okay, so as you guys most listeners probably know what UPG is, because obviously if you're a practicing heathen or practicing pagan of any kind, UPG basically means, or the definition of it is unverified personal Gnosis. Essentially meaning a spiritual belief in which is gained through experience, like a personal experience or your own intuition that doesn't necessarily go according to the straight traditions.
Yeah, and a lot of the times, these can be good things because I've had my own experiences that don't necessarily line up with any of the texts or teachings or traditions. But then you have some people that,
You claim to be married to a god.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's one thing, having a patron, right? Or a matron. But claiming to be married to one as a human, come on, I think that's just fantasy type talking. Like if let's say a god or a goddess comes to you and gives you a message of some sort, that would be UPG more than likely, especially if it was in a dream, vision, or meditation.
Right.
All of those things, definitely UPG, especially if it's very personal to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure we've all had them. I have, especially the last couple weeks. Yeah. What about you? What would you say that any stuff happened to you, like in dreams? You could say, like, if you had a personal experience you'd want to share.
Oh yeah, I actually shared it in a previous episode when Tyr came to me, and when I was trying to battle the shadow people in my dreams, and he fought with me in my dream, and it felt real, and it was I kind of equated it more to a vision than a dream. Not that I was actually fighting shadow people with Tyr, but it was to tell me something that I needed to know. And, it's really helped me level my head out. And I think that was the point, Tyr came to me and was like, get your shit straight, man. And that was what I needed.
Yeah. One for me, and this is since I came down to Mississippi, and with my feel good being crocodilian, is that especially when like we were just talking about earlier about the green and stuff here and the primordial swamp feeling, so gorgeous again.
Yeah.
But I've had many dreams where I've been with them, and one I had recently, I had taken this. It was a dream, mind you guys. This is a strict dream. I took a crocodile out of the water. He was about 7-8 feet long, and he didn't thrash or anything. He just let me do it, and it was because there was like kids playing in the water or something like that, and people said the water was safe to go in, but apparently he was in there, so it wasn't. So I took him out and I put him on land, and he didn't look like an ordinary croc. And obviously this is a dream, so it definitely wasn't ordinary. He had like a coloring on his back that was so like primordial feeling. It was awesome. And felt like I could like not talk to him in English or human language, but there was just like a bond, I guess. And for me, I think that was just symbolic of being here in the South, and now I get to actually experience being closer to a physical manifestation of my feel-good whenever I get the chance to go down further south a little more. But I'm not that far away anymore, and
right.
I'm in a place where it's the swamp environment, which I personally love.
So spiritually, do you think that was speaking to your desire to get closer to the actual animal, or?
I'd say both.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I'd say both. With my feel good and the actual animal itself, because it's been a long time since I've been close to a croc. Last time I was back in 2015 when I was in Australia.
So what about these the UPGs people use? Like they make bad decisions because of Loki, or these Wickatru and whatnot that do terrible things and act erratically and stuff, and they blame it on Loki.
Yeah, and act like it wasn't their fault.
Right.
It's like, no, that's completely your fault, actually.
Yeah, just because Mercury's in Gatorade doesn't mean you can act like a bitch.
Yeah, I don't get that shit really at all. I don't, in my personal opinion too, I don't believe that gods and goddesses are literally going to force you to do something, especially something like, let's say someone decides to steal a car. Like, yeah, Loki made me do it. I definitely don't believe that. I'm pretty sure you did that on your own because you wanted to steal a car.
Right. Yeah, the gods have nothing to do with your terrible fucking attitude and character.
Yeah. That it just and also again, like with the marriage of like a god or a goddess, like there's stories that don't involve marriage, but they're friends of the god. I forgot one, but he was a friend of Thor, technically. They mentioned that. I don't know how accurate that source could be, because you never know, really. But I can see that, because obviously as a patron or a matron, they are like friends in a sense. They're higher beings, yes, and they can be a father or like a mother to you, but at the same time, they're almost like your friend. Right. So that makes a lot more sense. I know, but I do not think they will marry you, because none of us are worthy enough.
I think this also ties into, not everything around you is a sign. If a butterfly lands on your shoulder, it doesn't necessarily mean the gods are speaking to you. If there's a crow or two or a raven or two in your front yard, doesn't necessarily mean Odin's there watching. People try to read too much into very basic, simple, natural things. And my recommendation is to, if you believe something's a sign, then it probably isn't. Because you will absolutely know. You can't. You see a lot of people getting online, be like, I saw a large stag staring at me through the woods. Is this a sign? If you have to ask, it's not a sign.
Yeah, that'd be like the other day. When we were having that fire, and the tick landed on you, the Lone Star tick.
Right.
You could. That'd be like you saying, "Oh, damn it, Loki."
Yeah. This is a sign from Loki that I shouldn't be outside having fires.
Yeah.
Something like that. No, it's just because I'm outside in shorts during, close to summertime in Mississippi, and we have ticks.
Yeah.
Ticks are attracted to body heat, and to smell. So,
which that was actually kind of crazy for me to see, because we had ticks up in Washington, of course, because they're obviously in a lot of places, but not like I don't think I've ever actually seen one in person.
Right.
And the Lone Star one, that was
yeah, you saw a little white dot on the back, and they're particularly dangerous because they can transmit a disease called alpha-gal, and that makes you allergic to like red meats, like certain proteins like that, and you can't eat beef or steaks, or I think there's certain fish you can eat, and maybe you can eat chicken. That's about it.
That would suck.
It's terrible. and they say it's rare, but when I was in the healthcare field, I saw it all the time. So, I mean, maybe it's, more prevalent down in the South where, you have ticks like that. So,
yeah. So on the more UPG and whatnot, yeah, like you were saying, if you have to ask if it was a sign, probably not. Yeah. You'll know, because those experiences, when they do come to you, there's no question,
right?
There never is, and that could be like I was saying earlier, that could be a dream, a vision, meditation. If you're outside and you see something, and you the best way to describe it for me at least is like it grabs your attention. Like you could be on your phone, or you could be looking at your feet or something, and all of a sudden you see an animal or something that pops out at you, and it just completely draws your attention in. And the feeling of it being like you're not necessarily in danger, but still be cautious. It's like if I went down, or if we went out in the backyard and we saw a boar, and let's say this was a sign, and for example, let's say it was Freyr, because of his association with the boar, and let's say, well, obviously it's a fucking boar, so I am definitely going to be cautious, and I'm going to hope that he probably just, scoots on, does his own thing, goes away. But if I was ever, if we were in an experience like that, and it drew us in, and nothing technically happened that some people might see, but within us, we can definitely tell something is happening.
Right.
Then yeah, that's definitely, it could be a sign right there, especially if none of us question it. Like, all right, hey, did you see that? That's right. The only thing, the only question we're asking was, hey, you saw that, right?
Right. Right. And we had an incident like that the other day, if you remember. Did you see that? When my ritual furs unfolded by themselves and landed on the floor?
Yeah, we were just having a conversation. I think we were actually talking about the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about the podcast and rituals and whatnot, and all of a sudden that shit happened.
Yeah, it was folded neatly on a file box, and it unfolded and fell onto the floor all by itself. So I can't explain what that was, but in the whole aspect of what you were talking about with the boar, if something like that were to happen and the boar did just kind of scoot off by itself and all that, didn't bother us, I think that in itself would be a sign, because boars around here can be particularly violent. So if it did just kind of scoot around, then we would know it was a sign. Otherwise, it would try to eat us.
Yeah. Haven't come across them yet.
Right.
But I'm assuming I might, or I probably will sometime in the future.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to break right now for a word from our sponsors. The Southern Heathens podcast is proudly sponsored by WoodovWyrd. WoodovWyrd is an Etsy shop owned by TikTok and Instagram user Witches Brew. With crafts like wood burns and spell jars, as well as custom orders, you can find exactly what you need for all of your witchy and pagan needs. From one-of-a-kind spell jars to any wood burn design, WoodovWyrd is always up to the task. WoodovWyrd is always up and running and ships orders promptly. Any custom order requests can be messaged directly to Witches Brew via social media or through her email. Links can be found in her Etsy shop. Go to etsy.com/shop/WoodovWyrd to find out more. That's etsy.com/shop/WoodovWyrd.
Hey y'all, welcome back. That was our short little ad. Yeah, we were just thinking about this. We're gonna dive into a little story. So one day we got back. Were we grocery shopping?
Yeah, we were grocery shopping.
Yeah, we were shopping, and all of a sudden we were just about to get the last of the groceries. And as I parked my truck and stuff, was it you? You found it, right?
Yeah, I got out of the truck, and as I go to circle around the back of the truck, I look down, and there's this oval ivory something I thought was maybe a bone or something like that sticking into the ground. I bent over and picked it up, and it was a rune.
Yeah, it was Anzus, and we can post a picture on it later, like on the website or the Facebook page, whatever works.
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram.
But yeah, we were speechless because as far as we know, heathens did not live here before us.
No, well, see, this house was my best friend's house, and he's a Christian. He owned the house, and now he's living in Texas. So, I mean, I have no idea where that could have came from. My runes are made out of oak, and your runes...
They're made out of some other type of wood, I forgot.
Yeah, we have wooden runes, and this is some kind of ivory kind of material. And I have no idea how this happened, and it feels like maybe this was a sign from Odin.
Yeah, because that is one of his runes. I was, again, guys, the UPG part and the actual experience was, we didn't have to ask ourselves, like, did something just happen?
Yeah, because something definitely just happened.
Yeah, we were wondering, obviously, like, okay, who could it have been from? Of course, I think that's a good question to ask.
Right.
Especially if you don't know, but like we definitely knew something was up.
Yeah,
and so we keep that rune on the house altar.
Yeah, to this day, I'm just completely amazed that had happened, and I'm pretty sure the listeners are going to think that we may be out of our minds and we're making it up, but no joke, that is a 100% legitimate story, and it is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and mind you, guys, like. Some of y'all who probably don't know the South that well. I mean, I'm not saying I do necessarily, but one thing that I do know is that, it is the Bible Belt. And it's called that for a reason.
Yes.
Because Christianity is very prevalent here. So, for us to find that, especially in the area we live where there's just about a church on every corner, is nuts. So that was... Yeah, that's what happened. That is a true story. Believe it or not, call us wackos, whatever you want to call us. But that was real. It was definitely a worthy experience.
Now, we had a member of our Facebook group, Southern Heathens Mississippi Facebook group. He's fairly new heathen, and listening to our previous episode on polytheism, he noticed you were saying worship a lot, which is, the definition of polytheism is the worship of multiple gods. And he had been informed wrongly that heathens don't worship their gods, they honor their gods. So what do you have to say about that?
Okay, yeah, so we can dive into that. Well, first I will say, I think the confusion, right, when we say worship, and how many times you can say we kind of dog on monotheism and whatnot, because everyone, I feel like, who's new to heathenry, and this isn't to say it's a bad thing, but anyone who's new to heathenry, even myself for a while, thought the same thing, that we didn't worship our gods, we honored them. Well, yes and no. We worship and honor them.
Right.
We try to honor them as best we can by being the best we can. But worship, yes. I mean, where do you think the rituals and the ceremonies and stuff, those are, like, especially if they're dedicated to a single god or a few, we are worshiping them.
Right.
And I think that's where the confusion lies, because, we're obviously not Christians, we're not Muslims, or, we're not Jewish. So
yeah, we're not technically, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're good. But we do worship, though. It's not a bad thing either. It's not, you're not going to be some, crazy religious person for worshiping your gods.
Right.
That's what we do in the case of polytheism.
Yeah, and I think what sets us apart from, like you said, like the Abrahamic religions or whatever, we're not taught to, I guess, kneel in fear of our gods or anything like that. And I know that's going to off-put a lot of people probably, but we don't like bow in fear and stuff like that to our gods. We stand and honor them and worship them in a boastful way and stuff like that.
There are stories though of kneeling.
There are,
but the thing is, the difference with it is, like you were saying though, is not kneeling in fear. It's it's out of respect.
Right.
There's especially if you were to go into like some of the stories talk about like the old temples, like in Uppsala.
Right.
People kneeling inside the temple, so it's not a bad thing either. You're not Christian for doing it. I don't know if any Wickatru or Brosatru tries saying that.
Yeah.
You kneel to your gods.
You're telling me, and this might be a UPG as well. So we're kind of molding this whole thing into everything. So these people are saying that if a real deal Odin appeared before them, they wouldn't bow, they wouldn't kneel to this god. I call bullshit.
Yeah,
because I would drop to my knees in a heartbeat. Especially out of absolute, complete honor and respect for him, because I know he's not my patron god, but I love Odin. He is a very influential, powerful, and wise god, and you would be a fool not to have that kind of feeling for Odin.
Yeah, and I guess I would take it too as like let's give another example, like Thor. If Thor literally appeared to you in person, the big mighty so-called giant killer appeared to you in person. Me as a strength athlete, and Thor being the first god that I ever came across. Hell yeah, I would kneel and bow out of respect. And it's like I said, it's out of respect. It's not fear. It'd be the same thing like, and this can be metaphorical too, per se, because of the situation. But like, let's say I'm in the gym, right? And I come across someone who is stronger than me and shows it. I'm going to give them that respect,
right.
Especially when I'm at the gym training, because they are stronger than me. And whether they're bigger or smaller, they're still stronger than me, and I respect that.
Exactly. Now, I had this picture in my head, and you might find this kind of comical. If Thor had appeared to you, that scene from Thor Ragnarok in the arena when the Hulk enters the arena and Thor's like, yes! I kind of see you doing that if Thor were to appear in front of you.
I don't, honestly, if it's something, I don't know, I guess it would just be, I know, obviously, guys, we're not saying we worship Marvel people, but the expression itself is hilarious.
Yeah, that whole expression, that why that's I kind of see you acting. Not that you wouldn't honor and show respect to him, but I can see you being that excited.
That's actually a good example, because when I get excited about things, like when a package arrived today. I'll explain that in a little bit, but that's actually the gift that I sent him over Messenger.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but no, and not kidding to the listeners. When you get packages like that, or when something happens that you like, you literally yell that in the living room as loud as you can. And I'm not startled by it, but it's kind of comical.
Yeah, I just get excited.
You get really excited, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So what did you tell the listeners what you got?
Yeah, so this can go back this go back a little bit to the episode about feel good, your spirit animal. I have now acquired a bracelet full of crocodile teeth from Australia alongside crocodile leather. I'm not saying I am for just killing them just to get stuff, because this crocodile was already dead.
Right.
But these things, though, are great additions to things that I wear and that represent a part of me. And now I also have a hat. People call it my Crocodile Dundee hat because it does look like it. But it has a hat band of teeth on there too.
Right.
And I wear it to work now, and I definitely get some looks from people. But it's pretty funny.
It's an amazing looking stuff, and it looks really good.
Thank you. Yeah, it feels good to wear. I would tell anyone too, just in general, not just for your spirit animal, but like your spirituality, your religious stuff. You don't have to earn your Mjolnir.
Right. Though mine was gifted to me by you, you don't have to be gifted a Mjolnir. You can buy one yourself.
I know. We always say that, guys, because we want to reiterate that, because some people still believe that they live 1,000 years ago, even though they were born in the 1990s or the early 2000s.
I mean, I might be wrong, but is there any actual evidence that you had to be gifted a Mjolnir? Is that
I don't
just
know
something
if
that
it was-
Odinists and like the Odinic Rite and stuff created?
I'm sure there are examples of you being gifted your arm ring and your Mjolnir, but I don't know if it was like the ascension to manhood or.
I know there are examples of your arm ring, but I've never seen the example of
I
the
think
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. I think it wasn't. What is it? As far as I know, I could be wrong. Was a gift in the very meaning of the word gift. Not that you earned it, but it was like a gift, like passed down from like your father or something. You
Right.
know?
Well, back in the day, that's kind of how you got things anyway.
Yeah. So that's like if that was the case, that's how I'd really think of it. I wouldn't think of it as like, oh, you had to go over to England and kill 1,000 Englishmen to.
Yeah,
get
or
out
else
their
you're-
Mjolnir.
Yeah, or else you're not going to get into Valhalla, brother. You're not gonna drink with the Aesir, and you're not gonna see Ragnar.
I know we always mention that, guys, because it's just comical and it gets better every single time.
It does. Y'all, it's not a thing. And if someone tells you that, they're either misinforming you on purpose to kind of control you, because you have fake Gothies out there, and fake leaders in these groups that want to control the information you get and don't want you to ask any questions. And these are bad people that don't want you to progress in your faith. And we want to reiterate, and we're probably going to do it every episode. So if you don't like it, keep listening. We don't care. It's important to know that this is a very personal faith for you. You don't have to do all these things in order to be a heathen, in order to honor and worship the gods, and for the gods to recognize you as one of us. You don't have to be white. You don't have to do things a certain way. It's not how it is.
Yeah.
So we're here to let you know how it really is. We're here to help educate you the best that we can. We're not all knowing, obviously, but this is what the podcast is for, and we're just here to help you progress in your faith the way we're progressing in ours.
Yeah, and so just so people don't think he's contradicting himself when he says how he just explained that, we're not saying to be bros true or wicked true, because obviously they don't read the sources,
right?
That'd be the only thing I would say I'd recommend people is to try their best. Not that it's going to be 100% perfect, but try your best to read the sources and go off of those, and then obviously adapt in the ways that you have to. Obviously with the sources that we have, because obviously I know a lot of people probably are not going to go out and sacrifice a goat to Thor.
Right.
I mean, if you do, hey, cool, I guess. As long as you eat it. But,
yeah, I mean, so that is a thing. If you do decide to do an actual ritual sacrifice of an animal, and use the entire thing, like you should when you hunt. Don't waste any of it.
Yeah.
That's completely disrespectful to the animal you just sacrificed. It's disrespectful to the gods, and it's disrespectful to nature.
And then, so back to my point about the wearing what you want. The very definition, like if you feel that you need to wear certain things, like a Mjolnir, an arm ring, or in my case, croc teeth, and because it's technically, like you were saying, it's a personal faith, so it is an extension of you, because it is who you are.
Right.
And I think that's what separates us from Abrahamic religions, is because it's more of they consider themselves, they always say children of God, but
lambs of God.
yeah, they say that, like, no, we're not that.
We're not
but
sheep. We're not lambs.
This faith is, we are a part of this faith because it is an extension of us.
Right.
So yeah, if you want to go get a Mjolnir, you want to go get teeth, you want to go get a bones. I've seen the awesome bone necklaces, by the way. Those are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And go get them. I mean, I would say go off of Etsy and go off of actual heathen-owned businesses.
Yeah.
For sure, because those are the best ones. The stuff that's on, big mainstream ones.
Yeah, like Grim Frost.
Some of their stuff is cool. I think I got what is it? I got a couple things from them.
Yeah, I think I heard someone describe it as Norse pagan Walmart.
Because it is. It still has some good stuff. But yeah, I mean, go on stuff like Etsy and go see the heathen-owned businesses, the small businesses. They have some really cool stuff.
Yeah, like this Mjolnir you gave me. What's this made out of?
Hematite?
Hematite,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's how you... Please forgive my pronunciation.
That's a correct, yeah.
Okay.
But it came from Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and my Tiwaz pendant, it's forged iron, and it also came from Ukraine. And I'll probably never order anything from Ukraine ever again, because it took about 2 years to get here.
This was before the war.
Before the war, yeah, and I was a little upset. But anyway, like he was saying, these heathen-owned businesses, not only does it help small businesses that are heathen, but the craftsmanship is unique and one of a kind. So, and you don't get that from those cookie cutter, stamped pendants that you get from these big name stores.
Yeah.
So
that'd be the only advice I'd say. Like I said, if you feel like you have to wear something or you want to, then go do it. Go get it.
Yeah. So
that's what I did.
All right. So is there anything else you want to add to the episode?
As always, guys, go outside. It is springtime here, and I'm assuming everywhere else.
Except the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, except the southern hemisphere. That's true. But go outside, go on some trails, or go to an unknown place. Go eat at a restaurant you've never eaten before.
Yeah, and then if someone gets murdered there a couple of days afterward, it's not your fault. like at Steele's Dive.
Oh yeah,
yeah. We found
wild.
For the listeners, we found a new restaurant in Tupelo, Mississippi, and we went there. It's actually pretty decent. And then a couple of days later, some people got into a fight there, and one guy actually died. And that was wild. That we literally just found that restaurant.
Yeah, I was when you brought up the article, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that's completely wild. But yeah, go outside, enjoy nature, read a book. Set down your electronics for a while, and I'm going to go ahead and let you all know that this is episode 10 of season 1, so this is going to be the end of this season, and we will probably not be back for a couple of weeks trying to get things together. I know it's been a while since we've recorded anyway, but we've got to get some content for you, and in the meantime, I'm going to be probably creating content for our social medias and stuff like that, just to keep you pacified. But if you really like the content that we have, give us a like, a follow, a subscribe. Definitely give us a rating. Right now we're rated 5 stars on Spotify.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. We are available on YouTube as well. We're available on all the major podcasting platforms. So if you do like what we have going on here, do all those things. Share us with everybody that you can, including your Christian and atheist friends. And we will be back to you next season. And have a good one. Y'all holla.